Make God your kid's moral compass. I'm not arguing about it. This is not a debate. This is for your and your child's sake. When I have situations with my kids, or when they're doing something to each other that they shouldn't be doing, or just saying anything, any of the things, I always say God would not be pleased with that behavior. God would not be pleased with how you were talking. God would not be pleased with whatever you said to them. You know why? Because guess what? I'm not always watching. Their dad is not always watching. Me and their dad cannot be everywhere they are when they are there, but guess who can? So when you allow God to be your kid's moral compass, they will reflect and watch what they say or watch what they do because they know God is watching. See, how many times have you heard your kid cuss when they thought you were not there? How many times have you heard your kid do things when they thought you were not there? Plenty of times. Not mine per se, because they're still very, very young, so I don't see them doing things when I'm not around, but I know that eventually as they get older, they're going to do things that they aren't supposed to do, that I tell them that they're not supposed to do when I'm not around. They're going to do it. But if I make God their moral compass, they're going to think twice because they know that He's always watching them. So this just dawned on me, y'all, literally, because I always do this, but today it was so funny. My kids were in the car. You know, they're 6 and 4, so they're, you know, doing their kid arguments, and I think one of them said the other one, I will knock you out, or something. I don't remember what they said, but the other one was like, I'm gonna tell Jesus on you. And then she really literally went into the midst of prayer. Like, she literally bowed her head and started praying and telling Jesus what her sister did. And guess what the other one did? No, I'm sorry. Just like they would do if it was mom or dad. I'm about to tell mama on you and want to go tell mom, and the other one is, no, I'm sorry. No, make Jesus that person. Make God that person. Because your kid will start to have their own convictions to get them in alignment, right? And it just teaches them to be good people. It teaches them to not be of the world and in the world. Just because everybody around us are mean or are disrespectful, or, you know, feels like it's okay to talk to people the way that they do, whatever the case may be, your kid is going to grow up knowing that, hey, I'm not going to say that because God would not like that. I'm not going to act like that because God would not be pleased with that behavior. I'm going to move differently. I'm going to operate differently. And hopefully that just steers them into the woman or man that they are called to be. I pray over my kids day and night. I went through a lot of trauma growing up, and there's a lot of generational curses that I had to break off of me so that I would not continue in that same cycle, and also put those curses on my children. I wanted to break all of those things. All of the things that I dealt with growing up, I wanted to break that off of them. And I want to give y'all one little small tip. There's one thing that I always pray over my children, is that the first man that they meet is the man that God sent for them. I don't want my kids to go through different types of relationships, or just go through a lot of heartbreaks and stuff before they get to the time where God actually sends their husband. And now they have to go through a process of healing before they actually receive the man or woman that God sent for them. I have daughters, so the man that God sends for them. So I always pray that God, the first man that they encounter is the man that God sent for them. I don't care what age it is, even if it's the tender age of 11 and they grow up with them, they become their best friend, and then they grow up and that's the person that God ordained for them to marry. That's how I want my daughter's lives to go. I don't want them to experience what I experienced before they get to their promised land. So yeah, make God your kid's moral compass.